Have you ever thought why United States dollar is being used as an international currency? Yeah, this question comes up in my mind, in yours also. So the answer is a simple one, but it's also a complex one. So let's get started with this video. If we go from the history perspective, then the story goes like this. When first the World War One started, before it, a lot of countries used to peg their currencies to gold. What does it mean is that the value of their currencies were underlying connected to the gold. Yeah, at a fixed rate. So the countries used to peg their currency to the gold. And when the World War One started, they just abandoned that standard to fund their military expenses. Yeah, because the countries could not print more money than the amount of gold they hold in their reserves, according to the gold standard. So they abandoned it and started printing the money as much as they want to fund their military expenses. So before the World War II started, these countries paid in gold, that gold, to United States for the weapons and all other the stuff. So after when all the fuss was created after World War II, the countries were trying to go back to the gold standard, but they ran out of gold. So the United States came up with an idea, came up with an agreement. What it did is that United States called it Bretton Woods Agreement, and they agreed upon to peg United States dollar to gold because the US used to have the most of the gold, and the other countries can peg their currency to United States dollar. So you can see that it's indirectly linked to the gold. And at that time, the price, the fixed rate at which the United States was pegged to the gold was $35 per ounce. It was kind of advantageous to the countries because countries now can make their currencies more attractive or less run by manipulating the supply and demand of their currencies in relation to United States dollar. So the US did this, and the whole world listened to it. So it was when all of the countries started to hold more and more of United States dollars in their reserves instead of gold, because now United States dollar is indirectly linked to the gold. So why to hold gold? And this is how the United States dollar became the global reserve currency. So one thing to notice is that gold standard doesn't exist anymore. It's a shocking fact, but let me explain how it happened. When the countries used to hold United States dollars in their reserves, they used to have another option, which was holding Treasury securities of United States. Treasury securities, let me explain it. It's a kind of bonds that countries used to give credit to United States for principal and interest for 10-year maturity or 5-year maturity. So what happened was that in 1971, when there was a deficit spending by United States for Vietnam War and other domestic programs, there was a rush in between countries, the other countries, for the payback of the Treasury securities before its maturity date, before its maturity date. So obviously, United States did not have much amount of money and they cannot print more of it because of the gold standard. So it just dropped that gold standard and started printing the money to pay back those Treasury securities to the countries. So this is how it happened. But a question arises here is that why we still use it as a global reserve currency? The answer to it is determined by some factors. Because in the past year, most of the countries still hold 60% of their reserves in United States dollar. So there are some factors that determine this thing. The first one is the size of United States economy. US economy is by far one of the biggest economies in the world. obviously it does make sense. The second thing is the that size and openness of financial markets. Yeah, U.S. financial markets, obviously one of the biggest financial markets in the world, and they have the biggest liquidity, biggest in size, biggest in depth. So obviously this also makes sense. The other factors include domestic macroeconomic policies. I think the macroeconomic policies of the United States is one of the liberal ones, I think. So it does also make sense. And the other factor is the importance of that country in international trade. And I think it's one of the most important factor. That's why still United States dollar is a global reserve currency, because the international trade here has been built up in the favor of United States. Because if two other countries are dealing for oil, they have to pay in United States dollar instead of their own currencies. It is an international law, and these all factors contribute to the status of United States dollar as a global reserve currency. I hope I made all of the points clear to you. So thanks for watching this video, and bye-bye.